The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to a very special edition of the Power Trading Hour. Why is it special? Because I'm here. Anyway, as always, we like to come to you at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And we're back. Back in like Flint. But what do we have happening out here? Well, in the search of what's happening now, up almost 16 points on the S&P cash. We're kind of playing around the highs of the day. Same thing with the NASDAQ, 59.1192, up 33 points. And what do you got? I don't know if there's anything else to say about it. Volume, as we said before, on the moves down had been fairly light. We had not gotten to 2 billion shares in the last two attempts down. In fact, I think we had, 1.85 and 1.9 billion shares. Now, volume isn't that exciting to the upside, but we are almost about 200 million shares at the head of the other two down days at the start of the show. So there is more volume out here today, 2.1 billion shares as we show. So this isn't a stampede so much as just the good old-fashioned, we're going to turn the heat up slowly on people that have been highly shorting over the last few days and kind of just go wash them out. My thoughts are that we've got about $2 billion worth of IPOs priced in the next 2 days. I suspect most of them priced today and go out tomorrow. The market will support that. At least the broker-dealers who are pushing out these IPOs will hold the market up, at least the indexes. May have seen a little bit of cash come out, some of stocks, to go buy some of these new IPOs. Kind of interesting ones, not the traditional fare of the, what is the catch of the day? I'm sure there's some French term for it that I've long since forgotten. But, you got a nice day out here. A few trading surprises. I wasn't looking for a lot of upside after yesterday's move by oil, but it's still up 13 cents on the day and holding 51 bucks plus. And that's probably the important thing on West Texas. Gold, a little bit more surprising out here. Not a lot of action to say why this is down almost 10 bucks, 12.49 on gold. Silver's off, let's call it 12 cents. To me, some of the other stuff that I was more interested in waiting to see what happened was if natural gas could have another day like it had yesterday. It's off 1.5 cents on the day. And, what can you say? That's about it. We are almost off a penny on actual gasoline, so not much happening there. But a little up on oil. It was, I think it got up to 51.75 or 51.80 if I can remember right. But again, it's still higher. It's still holding it. And my guess is that the people that were shorting everything else have probably gone into shorting oil and other energy stocks today after getting pushed out of others. My thoughts are that we're probably going to see that 2,400 on the S&P cash yet again, and probably by Friday now. Too many people off sides and too many short positions. Yesterday was on a light volume day, saw about 2% more than normal shorting. And, are you that high? Could you shaken everybody out? I don't think so, but I think by the time we get to 2,400, we will. And I thought today would have been the first day that you would have thought about pulling the trigger short. To me, I don't see any reason why before the close on Friday to also think about putting on more short positions. There's just not a lot here. Volume is better than it was on the way down. Not as good as you would want to think that we're going to some kind of astronomical number, but I digress. As always, we like to start off the show with a little bit of history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1990, the thrift crisis is everywhere at once. The estimated cost of bailing out a failed savings and loan companies, all of them, pegged just 1 year earlier at $158 billion, is revised by the government forecasters to a minimum of $285 billion, and that would go to $350 billion before the end of the year. We all erred dramatically on the side of underestimating the problem, says U.S. Senator Jake Garn, Republican of Utah. In other savings and loan news, Woody Lemons, the former chairman of Vernon Savings and Loan, is sentenced to 30 years in federal prison for bank fraud and taking kickbacks and borrowers. I'll have to check during the break whether he's still making little ones out of big ones. Remember that was kind of when you were growing up? That's what everybody did. They were making gravel out of big rocks. I don't understand it other than it was miserable work, but who knows? Anyway, that's kind of it for that. As we go into regular news, we have to say breaking up is hard to do.
Do-do-do, down, do-be-do, down, down. Comma, comma, down, do-be-do, down, down. Comma, comma, down, do-be-do, down, down. Breaking up is hard to do.
And when news breaks, I'm here to fix it. But I thought it was very interesting today. We haven't heard a lot about what's going on behind the scenes of the Brexit. Everybody kind of covers it on the surface. But there was an interesting back and forth from Mr. Farage and the rest of the EU clan out there today. And I'm just going to play it here for you.
Gibraltar is clearly a deal breaker on current terms. You have shown yourselves with these demands to be vindictive, to be nasty. All I can say is thank goodness we're leaving. You're behaving like the mafia. You think we're a hostage. We're not. We're free to go. We're free to go. And 85, and this, I know, I do understand.
Onorevole Farage.
I do understand.
Onorevole
Farage.
Io sto garantendo a lei la possibilità di parlare di tutto quello che vuole, però quando si parla di mafia, lei dice che il Parlamento si comporta come la mafia, questo per quanto mi riguarda è inaccettabile.
Okay. If you're not, no, I do understand. I do understand, sir, Mr. President. I do understand national sensitivities. I'll change it to gangsters. All right? And that is how we're being treated. We're being given a ransom note.
I love this guy. The more he talks, the more I love him. He goes in there and talks truth to the socialist powers. Well, when we get back, we'll talk a little bit about what these guys are trying to get away with and what our favorite Hitler Youth, Mr. Junkers, is trying to do. But I think this is going to get a little bit more heated than most people thought. Kind of interesting and actually shocking about what some of the EU countries are thinking.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Anyway, my point is, if you thought that this was going to go smoothly, in the last couple of days, Herr Junkers has even threatened to send troops into some of the other countries that are talking about leaving themselves. So it's no more Mr. Nice Guy for Mr. Junkers. But what can you say? As I've always said, communism starts with a gun to your head. Socialism ends with one. And eventually you run out of other people's money. What they plan to do today, they unveiled, they want to basically have England give up, or the UK give up Gibraltar. Although everybody in Gibraltar basically says that they feel that they are a part of Britain. So these guys not playing nice. And I kind of always like Farage. He's more than willing to go in and throw a Molotov cocktail on the ruling class of the EU. And like you said, I think they are going to be miles ahead by getting out of the EU. Another thing, and I forgot to get the Coal Miner's Daughter song. Maybe our engineer will find it during the break and play it as my lead-in when we come back from the next break. But because of Cyclone Debbie, China will be replacing its disrupted supply of Australian coal with American coal here in the next little bit. Of course, with EPA changes in regulation and a Donald Trumpster wanting to put a lot of the coal workers back down there in Virginia back to work, maybe there is a little left life in coal. I don't know how much, but next 4 years should see something. Anyway, that's we're going to have.
Well, I was born to coal miner's daughter.
Well, that's enough. That's all I can stand at that song. I'm sure someone liked it. Anyway, it is a mad market, but we will move on and have fun doing it. 2375 on the S&P cash. We'll start looking some stocks. Panera took the heads off of some more shorts today. PNRA. Take a quick look at this thing. Some discussion this morning about how much people are willing to buy and spend. And what we are seeing, one of the reasons why I talked about the EU early on is where all this money is coming from to buy Panera and several other rumored buyouts. A lot of this is Germans that have huge wealth within the family. In fact, I'm trying to remember the name of this the family in Germany that actually owns a great deal of stuff, and maybe someone in the den can, Riemann, is that how it's pronounced? JAB is the company. That's what I was thinking of. They are apparently trying to get all their cash out of the EU, especially Germany. And I think that they kind of see the writing on the wall. Even if they have to pay up, they're more than willing to go park their money somewhere else that they think that they can at least get it back later. And, at this price, I don't think that they're expecting any rewards. I just think that it's a way to get cash out of the country before they see the big deluge when Merkel, I suspect, loses this year. I think they are very afraid that they're going to go down the road of a huge whomp down from and like the Brits and the UK had after Brit exit when she loses literally everything. Last I saw, Merkel had an approval rating of about 15%. A little more than that are going to vote for her. But again, this cash coming in and buying at the highs is a lot of people would say it's nuts. But at some point, you would rather have something that is worth something, even if it's worth half that something in the future, than literally be stuck where you may have nothing. And from China to Germany, a lot of people are very nervous about socialist-leaning governments and whether or not they'll be able to actually own something in the future. China, of course, it's a constant battle to get cash out of. A little easier with Germany, but this company, the JAB, has been very big. Yeah. John from Philadelphia in the Den saying Euro capital flight, and we will see. So, we're up 13.5 points. Not much going on out here, but, up 13 points on the day. Let's go ahead and start looking through some of what are the, where's that at? Are the 52-week highs, because I suspect, what we're looking for in these 52-week highs is some real sign that something has broken. And why we saw volume very light at the highs the last few days, I said none of these things had really turned around and given any signal that we were going lower, even though the volume had been very light. Box, we haven't heard about this IPO for a while. Looks like it could be making an ABC up. And if we actually go to the expansion on this, you've got an ABC that sets us up for $20.53 on a 1-to-1. Anyway, fairly decent volume today. And that's, what do we have here? That isn't it. Is it W? There it is. 2 million shares up today. There was a kind of a big down day going back on 5 million shares back on the 2nd. You're kind of into that candle. So there is a lot of resistance. But not a bad-looking ABC. If the $13.56 low from December 23rd as your A point, your B point, your February 14th high, your C point March 22nd, You had basically a 55% retrace, and now you're headed back up. But you got a good sign of strength, even into a big sign of weakness going back to the second. I wouldn't be buying this thing here, but you had almost no volume down on the 21st. On the 22nd, you had less than 1 million shares. So pretty light volume retrade out here now. Nice pop, and again, up with 2 million shares already. You probably need some more, and it's going to take a while to hike through this. But, could you have a ABC to $20.53 in box? You could. Other stocks of interest. These are the percentage advancers, by the way. I think I said the 52-week highs, which we will get to. I just wanted to look at some of the bigger movers out here. Cons, one of these left for dead retailers has had, a nice sign of strength yesterday on earnings, up on 4.8 million shares today, up on 1.7 million shares. But again, a lot of people at lows piling on in shorts doesn't make sense to me. We'll talk about this more when we come back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. I was talking about cons. This was a kind of a cross between Aaron's Rent and Best Buy. We talked about this one when it fell apart. It was $44 on July 8th of 2015. So back down here is no big whoop. But again, a lot of people, this got down to $6.54. and you just don't like it. And especially this one did have a test on much lighter volume. You wanted to be out of this. November 4th, this had $8.10 with 600,000 shares. You got in with just 200,000 shares. It went 35 cents below the previous low on March 14th, did so with 188,000 shares to 606,000 shares. Pretty good indication there just wasn't a lot left in a lot of these washed out stocks unless they're going bankrupt anytime soon. And again, everybody likes to pile on these things when they're down at the lows and then absolutely get creamed, and kind of basically what happened on this one. Fresh, FRSH, Papa Murphy's Holdings. This is a company that basically makes your pizza for you, except they don't cook it. You call up and you tell them what you want. They make the whole pizza, put it in a box, and then you take it home and you cook it ready for when everybody shows up at home. So it's kind of a pick it up on the way home if you're a working mom and you got everything ready to go. It's not that much cheaper than a regular pizza from any of the other ones. But again, it kind of makes it act like you're kind of cooking. Anyway, nice spike on this one today. Lots of volume. It is at least holding somewhat of these highs, although it got to 612. Again, a lot of these stocks pretty heavily shorted, and not uncommon to see some pretty light intraday moves to the highs. GBX, Greenbrier Companies. We talked about this one a few times over the last week, and nice pop in this one with some decent volume. It's not going to hold the high. But January 13th, $49.50, 823,000 shares. Blew through that today with 3 million shares and a nice gap up. Couldn't hold the high, but I don't know if that's going to mean a great deal out here. We talked about Panera already. Sonic, another one of these stocks that people have just literally hated. Pretty nice day. Now, this one's one of the few out here that I saw earlier that really had no volume. This thing's just come up to its gap on the 23rd of February, and you've had a few spikes, but not a lot of juice in that one at 26.50 where this gap is. Staples, another buyout story out here that's frying some people that just didn't know that it was a little too late to the party. This one making a nice move out here today. Again, almost 15 million shares compared to the previous high of December 8th that had less than 10 million shares. So you got a lot of juice yesterday and today in a buyout offer. And, of course, this one kind of sailed pretty high on the idea that there was going to be a merger between Staples and Office Depot that never came to fruition. Another one down here as a big mover or bigger mover is Tenet Healthcare. Again, not a lot of juice on this one, but it is up a little higher. It looks like it might be trying to find some support levels. Therapeutic MD, TXMD is the symbol on this one. Nice pop yesterday, gave most of it back, came right back yet again. But this is a breakout on fairly decent volume for this one. UAA, Under Armour, was upgraded. A lot of people getting rather complacent on some of these retailers, and my guess is you could see some of these bounce in the coming days and weeks. Just far too many people being far too depressed on this one. No sign to bite yet. The upgrade today, just running a few people. A test of 1840 on light volume, maybe 3 million shares might get me interested. But you need to test that March 22nd low. Wix, the company where you are building your own websites, this thing has been in a perpetual up move for a while, going back to December 22nd. Nice signs of strength at 55. Never got any really significant retrace in this. Another day higher and volume fairly decent out here to 79.25. I think there's some rumors swirling about that one too. And a question in the den: how does the business of Box differ from Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud or IBM Cloud? Box is, for the most part, very much like the rest of those. And that's probably why it's the weakest of the bunch. it doesn't really have a lot of other businesses to go around it. They are probably a lot more like Salesforce, in that Salesforce, it doesn't have a software arm like Microsoft does, or an Office arm, or a database arm, or all the other stuff that Microsoft has, or Google does. Google's got search, Amazon's got its own business of selling products. Besides Amazon Web Services, IBM has all its own stuff, including its hardware. So Box is kind of a odd man out. I've never really thought that they can make it. My guess is that most people think that Box sells out to one of the other companies, and that's probably the only real long-term it's got. I suspect it's very much like LinkedIn. When LinkedIn was bought by Microsoft, the head of LinkedIn said one thing, and that is, we cannot compete, even though we're the best company in the world, not being part of one of these major platforms. And in the case of Box, I don't know the synergies between them and Facebook, but to me, Facebook may be the company that would be most interested in buying out Box. So that's it. They do the same thing that everybody else does. They just they're kind of a two-legged stool. They just don't have the third leg or a fourth leg as many of the other competitors do, and that makes it weak. Any kind of weakness, it's a pure play on the cloud, but so is Salesforce, CRM. Let's take a quick look at that, CRM, see what she's doing today. Nice volume. You needed 11.6 million shares from the November 19th high. This tried to get through that 82.90 from 2015 a few times. It's going through it today. I'm going to say it's going to get the volume and hold the high today in Salesforce. And you're not that far away from 90. 90 gives you $100 on this. So I think you could see a breakout in Salesforce over the next few days too. Decent volume, not as great as you would like, but if it holds these highs, you finally have volume comparatively to November 19th of 2015 on Salesforce. So you got a few stocks that are actually breaking out at these highs. 2371 and change on the S&P cash, 11 points higher as we bounce around. Let's call it 2.3 billion shares on the day. So those are our percent advancers. We get back, we will go to 52-week highs and take a look at a few more of those companies out here today.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to unearth a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Core Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 4 equally weighted commodities: gold, copper, WTI oil, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With no pricing caps, you can potentially earn an unlimited upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across semi-annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There's no annual percentage percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. With certain commodities on the rebound, now is the time to take advantage. The March 23rd funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once more, that's 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And we're back. Question about the TLT to one of our fine listeners who emailed me at path@tfnn.com. Question about the TLT. You got 3 lower highs. Well, actually 2 lower highs compared to the high of January 12th. You got to 123.14. You got into that on February 8th to 122.75. You got into that on March 12th with 121.97. So, I don't see anything out here with lower highs and actually lower low. I like that it did test the March 13 low at 116.49, did break the previous low, did see volume shrink, and you got your automatic rally out of this. But I don't see anything as far as huge juice. I mean, we only had, 5-6 million shares on the 27th when this thing hit. The next day down, it actually picked up volume to the downside. We had 12 million shares a couple of days ago. That really hasn't been able to hold. The only thing you can say is the volume is a little less on the way back down here, but I still suspect that we're in a trading range down here from the mid 116s to 122. I don't think anything changes that. I dislike the way that the TLT is acting, gold's acting, and I think it has a little bit to do with the news. But we shall see. And what else happens out here? Anyway, we're up 11 points. Volume's not all that exciting, but better than the last few days. 52-week highs as we get into that. Thanks, Mr. Basil Chapman. Private messaged me in the den, and we like that. Anything changed out here on Apple? No. Absolutely no sign to pull the trigger. Is volume exciting? No. Is it okay? Yes. And I just don't see any signal yet that says pull the ripcord. Adobe, another 52-week high out here today. Now this one going into the previous high that had 8.7 million shares at $130.30. We got to 131.33 today. Not a lot of juice so far. We're about 1/4 of volume, but no sign of pulling back on this. In fact, pretty much it's been a lot of retail traders shorting early in the day, only to cover by the end of the day. Sometimes they short now and then cover at the end of the day. But the pattern has been kind of a push to try to get this market down, and it just seems like by the end of the day, everybody keeps covering their short positions. Another 52-week high in American Capital Agency Corporation. Not real familiar with this one. AGNC. but above its previous high on half the volume. Amazon, of course, another 52-week high out here today. Volume is good on this one. It looked better. The only comment I had on this thing in the past was that if you want to buy it, I wouldn't use anything other than options. This one can have a fairly tremendous move in it. But now that it's in the $900 range, it's probably going to $1,000. The odds are highly likely that that does happen. IAPO, what's that one? Apollo Global Management, another 52-week high. Volume looks like it will be enough to hold that high. ATRS, Antares Pharma, a little spike out here. Not a lot of volume, but looks like it's going to hold it. Kind of a penny stock out here. Baxter International, another 52-week high. Volume is going to be okay, but not great. BLDP, Ballard Powered System, nice spike on this. Huge volume for a penny stock out here. BTI, which is another 52-week high. Cake, the Cheesecake Factory, trying to make another high. Volume is just going to be okay today by the close. Nothing to write home about, but not holding its previous high. 810,000 shares so far. CBS, and I have to complain about CBS because NCIS has been a great show for many years, and they have run out of talent. Man, they talk about mailing in a script from last night. I was very upset. Probably one of the worst and weakest episodes I've ever seen of NCIS. Although we do have a script writer's strike coming, so we may go right back to the 2000s where we ended up with nothing but reality television because of everything going on. And that blight was brought to us by the script writers striking before. CBS up, not a lot of volume, but I don't see anything that says pull the trigger on that one short either. CIT Group, when we see this one up on 1.5 million shares. Is that right? Yeah, 1.5 million shares today. Actually approached the high yesterday with 4.3 million shares, which is plenty, and pretty much closed at the highs of the day. A little bit of follow through, a little bit of pullback out here today. But the energy off this March 22nd low was fairly good to this high. You had good volume yesterday. It's probably going to have to chew through this $44 level. We talked about CRM already. Disney, another 52-week high, the usual suspect. We've talked about this one ad nauseum. And why I think that it's got a lot of potential problems. What this thing is doing is coming back to this big gap down where this thing started to have problems on November 27th, 2015, came down with 15 million shares. We're back up in here in the last few days. Nothing approaching 15 million shares, most to 3-4 million shares. So this looks like fairly decent resistance levels at 115. All you need is one bad story coming out about either movies or ESPN, and I think you could see a fairly decent pullback in that one. What else do we have out here? eBay. No one talks about eBay much anymore, but guess what? It's saying I'm schooled you with another 52-week high today, $34.74. Did not hold its high. Volume is okay, but not great. But not a big signal of pulling back so far. FAST, which is Fastenal. This one trying to make a little high out here. Volume will be okay, but not great at the end of the day. Not holding the previous high of March 6th that had almost 4 million shares. But you had 8 million shares kind of into this high already. Today, 1.7 million shares. So I don't know if you can make a lot of it. Facebook, another 52-week high. As we said, nothing out here that says these things have pulled back yet. You want to not anticipate these retracement, but wait for some kind of signal, which we haven't gotten. Another 52-week high, Ingersoll Rand. Of course, probably thinking a lot about those projects coming out from the Trumpster. This is out here with very light volume going back through highs of the 13th of February that had 2.7 million shares. Got about 1.5 million shares so far. Lilly. This one's a 52-week high. It's kind of going back to the December 7th, a day that will live in infamy in 2015. $85.96, 7.4 million shares. And what did we have yesterday? Is 4.6 million shares, 2.7 million shares today. We'll try to get through as many of these 52-week highs and see if we have any strength. I don't see a lot on the upside, but again, I don't see a lot of stocks breaking down on the low side either. Think that we could kind of play around up to 2,400 on Friday.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're going to go to Mike in Toronto. How you doing today, Mike?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I know we don't have much time here. Could you look at CNI? You're mentioning 52-week highs. Could you look at CNI?
Yep. We're up here. Volume, all that exciting? No. It spiked to 75.05. It's given most of that back. It's back into the trading range. Like I said, I don't see a lot of pullback before Friday's close. And I think we could probably maybe spike 2,400 on the S&P cash. Are you still short this thing?
Yeah, I'm about to get a margin call. I would like to know, their earnings are released April 23rd. How long is the quiet period?
It's already started.
It's 2 weeks before the earnings announcement?
Huh?
What is the SEC rules on the quiet period for a company prior to earnings release?
They're a minimum of 30 days, and I think some companies go out 45 days by their own rules.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I go back then and check it and make sure that it never changed. But normally I haven't seen anything within 30 days, and most of the time they try to keep 45 days out. So you don't hear a lot of them in at least the last half of each quarter. They just kind of go quiet. They don't want to get sued, which is one of the bigger reasons out there. So unless they have really big news to come out on, normally you don't hear anything other than if they're really going to miss, maybe they'll come out a week before the earnings and say something.
Mm-hmm.
But if they are going to beat, I'm trying to remember the last company that came out a week before, said that they were going to beat. Many have come out a week before and said, hey, we're just not going to make it. I know it's a week before earnings. So that's kind of it. But
well, this stock is being quickly it's being manipulated through the buybacks. And they just completed one tranche end of March, and they extended the buyback program not once but twice till May the 7th.
Yeah.
So I figure with their earnings coming out the 23rd, they would be prohibited, right, from buying any more stock until after the earnings?
No. You can buy back stock anytime they want. They can buy it back right after they announce it. Huh?
I think there's a quiet period. Like I don't think they can buy back stock prior to the announcement.
The quiet period only has to do, my understanding, quiet period only has to do with what they say, not what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They can buy as many. They just can't come out and say that they bought some. See?
Okay.
So I don't think I think the buyback periods can go right up to the day that they announce earnings. I don't think it has any difference. Normally, they just can't announce new ones in the quiet period and stuff like that.
Okay. So you're looking at a topping formation here on CNI, huh? At 75.
Well, you've got one day out here. Doesn't mean that you're going to be any better off a week from now, but at least you've got a tiny respite out here in that you are closing below a previous high. And at least at the moment, the volume is not there. But again, the last 30 minutes of the day have been, a huge portion of it. You got 800 and somehow you got 800,000 or so. You only need 970,000. So I bet you're going to get that by the end of the day. So you're at least going to have comparable volume high, which means that there would be no reason for me to short this. Doesn't mean it won't pull back. But again, that's much more an issue of the general market. And, we got, I just don't see the next couple of days being big down days. If we're going to have something, it's probably going to start next week. Thanks for calling in. As always, sell when you can, not when you have to. And we will see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.